And since you are talking about organizations and some religious groups as well, as I was saying before, when I watch these documentaries and they are interviewing someone who's been in a cult that damaged them psychologically, like even physically,
Yeah.
because they always have a leader, isn't it? And the leader seems to be able to put so much fear into the followers that they will do anything. And that's what amazes me, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? They would do anything. They could say to them, let's jump off a bridge. And they would do it. And go on.
I was going to say, ironically, they would do it out of fear of being killed.
Yeah.
So they would kill themselves out of fear of being killed or not making it to a good place.
But that makes the whole subject of fear, or even that word, quite complex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at how it can basically take you to a place you never thought you could go.
Yeah.
And you know groups that have done group suicide, they've all killed themselves because the leader said it was a good idea.
And here's a question. Is the leader alive? Or was the leader alive afterwards?
No.
Did the leader kill himself too?
Yeah.
The leader killed?
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of, because there's a couple, I think.
Yeah.
There's one, yeah. I don't want to say the name, but obviously I could probably properly later. But I think he said, let's do it all together. We're going. Yeah.
Yeah. Is incredibly is crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
but then
go on.
No, but I was gonna say, what do you think when people who are in these groups say, when the interviewer is asking them the question, what made you stay? And the reply is, well, it's because we were, it goes back to fear. Whatever answer they give goes back to fear. You know that, right? Because it's like, I think one group, before you join, you need to give them something about you that they could take public if you decide you want to leave. And that the fear of that alone will make someone stay in something. And for me, that is wickedness.
Of course, it's wickedness.
So sometimes when I'm in the situation where people are talking to me about, or I'm watching these programs, I don't feel, I can understand where they're coming from, isn't it? Because it's not like, it's just because I'm always able to connect it to relationships as well. What made you stay? It's quite complex.
Exactly.
It's not one thing that you could just give an answer like and just say, I wanted to. No, you don't want to. It's the fear of it. And sometimes when these people leave, Adrian, this is how amazing it is. Even after you overcome your fear, some people need therapy.
Of course.
So it's mad.
It's very mad. Even you mentioned relationships. Even the fears of being alone, because maybe sometime in childhood you felt alone, and then it became a massive thing. So it cripples you to be alone, or the person that is taking advantage tells, and they know this, they tell you, you will never find anyone. I'm the only one here for you. And then that makes you fear that if you leave, that there'll be nothing out there for you. So you put up with. So there's so many ways to use fear to manipulate people and control people.
Yeah.
And we see it every day. We literally see it every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's funny. So the question is, if someone is in that situation, what can they do? It's like, what do you do to overcome the fear? Because we go on and about how bad it is, but overcoming it, how?
One word. And it's not easy. Bravery. Because bravery is, the definition of bravery is overcoming a fear and overcoming whatever's holding you back to do what needs to be done. Yeah. is that you use an example of use an example for a cult where they would take information about you that can go public if, and of course I could see why people would be scared because we are social creatures. We don't want the people around us to ostracize us. We don't want to be different. We don't want to be looked at differently. None of those things. Hence why something like that is so powerful. They're saying if you step out of line, we can use this to destroy your whole social structure.
Yeah.
But bravery means, yes, you can fear that, but bravery means, okay, you know what? This is wrong. I don't agree with it. I'm going to do it anyway, regardless, and I will recover.
Yeah.
But that's hard to do. That's very hard.
That's it. And I think it's the pain of going through things.
Yeah.
But even though you're in something that makes you fear, it's also the fear of the pain.
Exactly.
So courage, bravery.
That's it. That's a word. Courage as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you need, because it's like you have to know. There was this guy that I was speaking to. I think he was in a cult and he left. And basically what happened was he had to go on medication, and the recovery is bad. The recovery is pretty bad.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on, Adrian.
No, quick thing. What's more fascinating about it?
Mm-hmm.
He probably needed, I don't know, but he probably needed medication even during being there, because a lot of people who are sucked into these things are depressed or down. They're looking for love, affection, answers, everything. Yeah. They're already down. And what happens is that these kind of like fearful organizations and stuff take advantage of people who are already down and looking for something better. Yeah. Because they know these people will be more receptive like to manipulation. Yeah. So when they do come in, then they're stuck in a what's the word? They're stuck in a
rat.
No, there's trauma bond. That's it. They're stuck in a trauma bond.
Isn't it funny? So, back to relationships.
Exactly.
The connection is interesting, because if someone leaves, you could leave a bad relationship and still miss the person.
Yeah, of course.
Even though it's not good for you. The moment you miss them, you forget about what they put you through.
Yeah.
And it's the same with abuse. There's people who've been abused, and they still admire the person that abuses them.
Because they don't believe in themselves, and they give all of their power to the people who abuse. Yeah. That's why people keep going back, because when they step away, that thing that abuses them is their identity. Mm-hmm. So when they step away, they have no identity. Yeah. And they go, I'm lost. And they ignore the toxic stuff, and they think of the stuff like, oh, remember when that person said good morning to me or helped me on that day, and then they go back. But even in certain prisons around the world, like that's a tactic that they use. Mm-hmm. They put somebody in jail, they treat them poorly, mm-hmm. and then a prison guard will come with a cake or something. How you doing? Are you fine? Yeah. Here, wipe your. Listen, I'm playing a game about the Mongol invasion of an island. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the leader behaves exactly like that. He's the most caring. He's brutal. Yeah. He murders people in court, but he's so caring. He'd be like, his captures, the people that he's captured, he'd be like, are you fine? Are you okay? Do you want some milk? It looks like you're bleeding. Let me help you. Let me, that way you create a trauma bond.
That's so messed up, isn't it?
It's messed up. It's very messed up.
Whatever the person is in, organization, workplace, wherever they are, the people who are creating this fear will always need to publish or say something that keeps the fear going.
Of course.
Which makes it more wicked, because you have to consciously say, how do we put more fear there? You literally have to put that in what you say, what you write, just to keep it going.
for selfish purposes, which makes it even more wicked.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it to benefit for yourself or for your peoples or whatever.
Yeah. So which means bravery is key.
It's not easy though.
It's not easy, and it's not easy because anyone who has stand up for what is right, that's why people admire, when you hear stories as, Rosa Parks sitting at the back of the bus. Now, if we think about it properly, that is going against literally the whole time. It wasn't even like it's his area. Her area, I mean, sorry. It's like the whole country.
Yeah.
So we admire people like that. There's certain people that you might have read about and you admire them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's why we admire people who take a stand. And sometimes I like to watch movies where people overcome.
Yeah.
Because that's what we want to be. I still feel like you and I, a lot of people are trying to overcome fear.
Yeah.
Daily basis, because fear shows up in all different ways in our lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you do need courage and bravery in areas of your life, whether it's saying, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not involved. I'm going to have to, step down, step out. It requires that. But I guess looking at these examples, what I've realized about all these people, and this is also part of answering the question of how you overcome it, is that when you read about their lives, what tends to happen, just like you asked me at the beginning of the podcast, what made you have a phobia? And I had to go back.
Yeah.
When you read about these people, there is something of importance to them that makes them act the way they are. So for you to get out of anything fearful, you need to think of the motivation of why you're doing it. Just like they keep reminding you of why you need to fear, you need to keep reminding yourself that getting out is beneficial for me.
Yeah.
And basically being able to write that down or knowing what the reason is will keep you going. So for instance, all our lives, we've put in a lot of effort to work, make money. Yes, we know money is not everything, but unfortunately, we need money in order to do certain things that we want to. So here you are. You've had jobs where you have to wake up early, bro.
Yeah.
So I have jobs. Even now in my business, there's times I have to wake up early. Why? Because I want to be comfortable at some point. And I'm not saying I want to be like rich. I want to be in the area where I'm like, oh, let me, So it's the goal that keeps you going. Sorry for bringing, I'm not going to apologize for it, but there's one of my favorite verse in the Bible, which says, it was the hope that was set before him. He endured all these things. And it was referring to Jesus. And I thought, what a way to help you overcome things if you have that thing in front of you. So because sometimes when people are leaving places or stepping down or feeling like they need to get out of something, they don't remember. No, sorry. Of getting out of something. What did I say earlier? Because it just got muddled up in my head.
You were talking about people looking at something ahead to help them.
That's it. Yeah. So I've got the thoughts back now. People get caught up in the emotions of it, and it might sound harsh, but when you get caught up in the whole thing, because there's a book that you read, and in fact, I did ask you to send me a part of it today. And there was a bit in there that was brilliant, like people creating pleasures and confusion makes it hard for people to search within.
Exactly.
So the thing is, the fear is there. We're not going to deny it, but try not to give it too much attention and draw the attention back as to why it's important for you to leave. So to even use a specific example, let's say you are not happy at a workplace, right? And you really want to leave. Instead of getting caught up in like, oh, but the money is all right. Well, it's close to my house, but And but then if I leave, would I find another job?
Or how am I going to pay bills, and will I get
Exactly.
another one? And yeah.
Exactly. So instead of thinking that way, you need to find a motivation. What's the motivation? I can't sleep anymore. I haven't got no social life. I can't spend time with my family and friends. I am miserable. Is that the motivation? Well, if that's the motivation, then you find a way there. That's the interesting thing about putting a goal in your head. You know, for
Yeah.
instance, you like going to the gym, and maybe there are different parts of your body that you want to build. But because you want to build that, you are happy to go through all the reps.
Yeah.
Even sometimes when you go through the reps, it's like, ah. So yeah.
No, using that example, even when I'm even at the gym, there's a fear that I'm going to struggle or fail or look stupid or something like that. And that kind of fear is what prevents you from getting the thing that you want. And you have to just fight through it and go, I can do 10. It doesn't matter if I struggle. It doesn't matter who sees me. It doesn't matter because
Yeah,
I need to achieve this.
exactly. And the thing is, it's in your head. You
Yeah.
see? So for instance, when you have that goal in your head, no one can touch it if you make it set in your head. So not even me, I'm not gonna say, even if I laugh at you, you're thinking, okay, bro, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, oh, you eating healthy? Oh, okay. Or what you doing now? Yeah, they could laugh. They
Yeah.
could laugh, but you know, what it's doing for you.
Yeah.
If you know that the thing that you are in, that you're getting caught up in, is bringing you down, the motivation is, I want to be better. So I will have to go through this. And then going through the pain doesn't become you don't even begin to fear it as much as you should.
Yeah. It gets better in time.
Exactly. Because what you need to remember is that to get out of fear, you sort of also has to get comfortable with fearing. It's so weird. It's weird because it's mad.
You got to accept fear. You got to accept fear and make it become your friend. And when you make fear your friend, no one can use it against you because it's your friend.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I
Oh,
know. Yeah. It's like
yeah.
I accept that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone could say to you, like we've all moved. I mean, my parents came here first, but let's say someone wants to move to another country or another area or wherever. Let's use country because it's the biggest example. You might get people saying to you, you do realize it's going to be hard. And you'd be like, I know.
Yeah.
You do realize that the people there might not really like you. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You do realize that they don't treat certain people the right way. Yeah, I know. Isn't it mad? So you might be talking to the person keeps saying, I know, I know.
Yeah.
And then they have a goal.
Yeah.
The goal is they know that if they work hard, maybe they could do something better for their family, either back home for themselves, or there's a progression that they need to make, and they are willing to go through it.
Yeah.
Which,
And it's go
oh
on,
my God,
Rich.
yeah, which just to finish off my examples,
Yeah.
it goes back to when actors
Yeah.
have to go dig deep. Some actors have to lock themselves in rooms to, some actors like for instance, when Eldris Elba was playing Mandela, he had to go stay in that prison for a while alone.
Mm.
Why? Because what's the end goal? The end goal is for him to be able to give us the closest experience of whoever he's portraying.
Mm.
The end goal is what motivates us. Yeah, go on.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, no, no. It's cool. It's cool.
Mm,
Um, that's a good point you made at the end.
mm,
I was gonna say there was a point that you made that I was going to expand on. Right. I was gonna say people, even your example when you said when somebody's telling someone, oh, but it's gonna be hard, and they say, I know. We make the mistake of believing because we fear something so much that other people should fear it as much as well. So they're confused, like, what? But do you not understand? Like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because fear, the problem with fear is fear become if it gets too strong, it becomes reality. And fear is not reality.
No, it's
Fear
not.
is no fear is a distorted um signal from your
Thinking.
mind
Yeah.
of life.
Mm.
Very distorted. Hence why there's racism. Hence why people hate each other. Hence why people are scared of people, places, everything. You know what I mean? Because it's just a distorted signal from the mind. But we think it. But we have been manipulated to believe that it's normal.
Yeah.
Just like that passage I sent you. That book
Yeah. The book.
thing that I
The
sent
book.
you. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you make people believe that this is what reality is.
Mm.
And fear is reality. And but then who is it benefiting? It always benefits someone for you to be scared. Always. Which means fear is a tool. Yeah. Um, and also I was gonna say to your other point as well about having goals for stuff. Um, the biggest part of making fear work is getting you to fear yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fear
Oh
your
boy.
fear yourself, but don't fear us or don't fear this, but fear yourself. So you
Yeah.
was mentioning like work, right?
Mm.
Um, like let's say somebody is in a job that is not benefiting them. It is not. It's just taking their time and whatnot, right? And they fear not getting another job. They fear not being able to pay their bills, so on and so forth, right? But if you were to tell like somebody what is your skill, your personal skill, what is your talent, and the person says, "Oh, I can draw, or I can, do whatnot," and you say, "Why don't you like? Why don't you try to do something in that field?" Then the fear of self comes. It's like, "Oh no, I can't do that. Like,
Yep.
I'm not good enough,"
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're stuck. You're stuck on a. The thing is, we have been brainwashed to believe that life is a one-way street. There are
Mm.
no left turns, right turns. You can't go backwards. You can't go in a circle. You can't go up. You can't go down. You can only go this direction. And that's a lie. And people tell you if you go left, you're going to crash. If you go right, you're going to crash. If you go back, you're going to crash. Right. So people don't believe in their own talents or what they can do. They go, oh, no, if I do that, I'm going to crash. Yeah. But then again, I ask the question, who does that benefit? It always benefits someone.
Exactly, because anyone who wants you to fear does not want you to dig deep. Just keep, just we'll keep you here. Just follow the guidelines. I mean, what did we say? This will happen if you do this, and then you are there thinking, really, no, uh,
And are you going against,
yeah,
and then you start to feel guilty, like, oh, sorry. It's again, like I said, is you see it all around the world in some countries, like if an atrocity is happening, yeah, and somebody's like, I don't know if this is right. They ask
yeah,
you, do you not love your country?
yeah,
Are you, and you go, oh, no, I love my country. Sorry, and then you go along, because you're scared. And they said, do you know what could happen? Like, for instance, we know there are some people, I'm not going to mention names, there are some people that are on the run.
mm-hmm.
They're in other countries because they spoke up about things that were wrong in their country.
100%.
And they're called traitors, so on and so forth. But you
Yeah,
know how life goes, yeah? In 15 years' time, 20 years, 30, 40, that person will have a statue.
Martin.
That's the truth, right?
Is it?
Mandela has a statue, but when he was fighting apartheid, he was deemed a terrorist.
It does. It's interesting we mentioned this guy's name, and he must have had an end goal for him to be able to cope because he was in for a long time. And when I watched the movie, he knows that hate doesn't feel right, love is better, but he had to come to terms with that so that people say to him, how come they put you in for so long, but then you come out such a peaceful man? And that's because in his head, it goes back to the foundation.
Yeah.
Overcoming fear. The question is, why do you want to overcome it? You find the reasons, it will help you start making the moves to overcome it.
Yeah. And the reality is life is just better without it. You're less stressful.
Yeah.
You're happier without it.
Yeah.
But even if people threaten to take things away from you because you want to do what makes you happy, yeah, or whatnot, you're not going to be happy doing what other people want you to do and not what you want to do. Even if you're going along with it, you would have these social trimmings, like you'll be part of a group, part of a clan, part of a tribe, yeah, but you will not be happy inside.
No, you wouldn't. Isn't it funny? You use the word inside because, you know, having been a certain type of personality, sometimes it's not just the fear, it's the way you are as well that's making you stay. The fear plays a major role.
Yeah.
But if it's not making you happy and you're a people pleaser, you might stay longer than you should.
Exactly.
Sometimes people have described overcoming things in your lives because we like people who overcome, which is interesting because in one of our episodes that will come up soon in the future, we will interview someone who has overcome stuff themselves.
Yeah.
And you know, usually when people overcoming things, AD, it's not they never say it was smooth, do they?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit painful.
Yeah.
Another thing you need to accept. But after the pain, what happens? What you just said, you feel better inside now.
Yeah.
You have to go through the turmoil. It's like even when you see animals shedding, it's like they look very, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then once they shed, they look clean again.
Yeah.
The shedding is a process, but then the end goal is they've got a new skin.
Imagine if they were forced to be in that skin. You know what I mean? Moving around every day in that skin. Like how would that feel? And here's the thing. Let's not get it wrong. There are some animals that want to stay in their skin. Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If that's what you want and that's what fine. But there are also animals that animals or insects that are very uncomfortable in that skin and they have to shed it.
Yeah.
And the problem comes into play when whoever is controlling goes, you can't shed that.
No.
You need to walk around. You need to walk around in that uncomfortable skin because of some higher power, maybe God, country, or whatever. But what they really mean is you got to do it for me.
Yeah.
But they can't say me because you will say, what are you talking about?
Well,
so they're going to say,
who are you? Yeah.
Exactly.
I find it amazing because I was going to add to the point, and anytime I want to add to the point, I forget what I wanted to say.
Yeah. What was it leading from?
I do remember because I already know I'm a gardener, right? I think by now everyone knows.
Yeah, I think everyone knows. Yeah.
But I was going to say, when a rose thorn goes into my fingers, it's painful in there. Yeah, even the taking out can be painful because you need to like squeeze but when it comes out, it's like
yeah.
So yet again, this is another positive thing to remember when you want to overcome fear. The way it will make you feel inside.
Exactly.
I mean, how have you felt in the past when you've left things that are toxic, but you kind of felt bad and you feared the other person being messed up? But then how have you felt personally when you've overcome things then?
It's like going from the city, noise, smog, smoke, to going into the country or Scotland and breathing in that good air. And your lungs feel it. And everything about you feels more rejuvenated. You know what I mean? Like, that feeling when you go into nature. Yeah.
I know. I love nature myself.
Same. It is like that. It's like you can breathe. And then when you can breathe, it's like a domino effect. Once you can breathe, you can think. Once you can think, you can work things out. Once you can work things out, you can grow. Once
Isn't
you can
it
grow,
amazing? Yeah.
Once you can grow, you start to achieve. Yeah. You work on yourself, and then you can attain the things that you want, and then life actually starts to move forward for you.
Exactly. Sometimes people who overcome fear, their biggest regret was not doing it earlier.
Yeah.
If you speak to anyone who has become successful in life, whether business move, now I'm now self-employed. If you ask me what my biggest regret was, I wish I started the moment I left school, because I would have developed so much quicker. I still got experience in what I do, but it's like it would have, by the time I'm like 21, it's like now I'm thinking of, it's only recently I'm thinking company name, uniform, and this, like things that probably if I had said this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And anyone who overcomes stuff, they always say, I wish I did it sooner.
Yeah. Yeah. Or escaped earlier. Or
exactly.
Yeah.
So another thing to remember.
Yeah.
The reason why, because the thing about the brain is this: if you don't give the brain a simple answer, if you don't give the brain a decision, so for instance, in life, if you don't accept things, your head is all over the place.
Yeah.
All the time. But once you say, this is what we need to do, the brain says, okay, we're going to work towards it.
Yeah.
I feel like we've used so many different ways to just get to how to overcome fear. And I hope the message is clear as we keep explaining it anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say, as a gardener, fear is like weeds.
Yeah.
And plants and flowers will not grow to their potential if they're choked by weeds.
Yeah.
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 But if a person doesn't want a certain plant to grow,
yeah,
they'll water the weeds.
Yeah, they will.
Because it's beneficial to them. I was thinking about something. It has to do with racism, but it's also connected to fear and anger. Yeah. And I was thinking, random thought for some reason. Yeah. When it comes to racism, a lot of it comes down to fear, right? Fear, and then fear feeds anger. A lot of anger comes from fear too. Well, we know this anger comes from fear. So I was thinking about something like, let's say there's somebody who hates another group. Maybe a black guy hates Indians, or white person hates black people, or whatever, yeah? In their own country. I was thinking about something like the fear, yeah? The fear would push, like in the Second World War, I'm not going to mention it so that we don't get the, the algorithm doesn't, but you know what happened in the Second World War, right?
Yeah.
That was fear of a certain people, yeah? Just nothing but fear. But I was thinking, right, that when you become super fearful, you're actually scared of who you are too, and yourself. True. So if let's say I hate somebody, yeah, and I mean, let's say I'm in Barbados and I hate a group in Barbados that doesn't look like me. I hate these people, yeah, and then the government decides to do something, and I go along with it. Those people are gone, yeah. The problem with that is that doesn't get rid of fear. It doesn't get rid of anger, because what's going to happen now is not that they're gone. The fear is still there, and the anger is still there. So then you look to the next group. Oh, I don't like these people. Yeah. And then something happens, you get rid of them. You're like, oh, cool, I've gotten rid of them. Now, all that's left is people that look like you. But now the problem is you still have the fear and the anger. Yeah. So now you're looking at people with darker skin than you. Yeah. Oh, look at these, dark skin guys. I hate this person. You get rid of them. You snap your finger as they go. The fear is still there. The anger is still there. Yeah. Then you start to hate women. Yeah. That look like you, but they're women. Oh, I hate women, blah, blah. You get rid of them. The fear is still there. Yeah. The anger is still there. All that's left is you and people who look exactly like you. I hate this person's personality. I hate those, how they think and talk. You get rid of them. They're gone. You keep doing that. And then the only person that's left is you. Yeah. You go, yes, it's only me left. The problem is the fear and the anger is still there. And you know what? You'll hate yourself because you've hated yourself from the beginning, and you fear yourself. And you get rid of yourself, So the point is that you cannot solve fear and anger through external, like getting rid of external things. You got to tackle it internally. Because no matter what you do externally, the fear and the anger is going to linger. And that's why I say, like, when you look at history, people always, they hate a group, they get rid of them, then they hate somebody else.
That's true. That's
I hate
true.
the Irish, the Scottish, Then
Mm.
it turns I hate people from Liverpool or this football team,
Yeah.
or I hate people from Manchester. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop because you're
No.
not dealing with the fear
Within.
internally, the
Yeah.
weeds that choke out, and the people around you
Mm-hmm.
that can benefit from it, they feed it. They keep feeding it. And here's the funny thing, right? The people that feed it don't necessarily hate anybody, or
Russ.
they don't necessarily hate anybody or believe what you believe, but they know if they can feed that fear in you, they can
Why
benefit
not?
somehow. Why not? And they can
Why
benefit
not?
somehow.
Why not? Exactly. It's true.
Yeah.
So, AD,
Yeah.
we've literally touched on it, how to overcome it. If there's one message, if you want to put in one sentence on overcoming fear, how would you put it? With everything being said.
Don't be scared. Shut down your fear. Fear, being scared is a mental response. And what happens is that when you become fearful, you become subconscious. And then when you become subconscious, you just get carried by your body and your subconscious. When things scare you, you gotta literally, it's like a child. You gotta treat your mind like a child. So when you see a child doing something wrong, what do you do straight away? Hey, stop that. Stop doing that. That's wrong. So it's like that. Like that's the only way to tackle it. And don't allow the world to scare you so much. Always just understand that we live on a planet that is powered by fear, war, hatred, all of those things. Once you understand that,
Yep.
you will find your answer. You will get on that path.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's been a good discussion.
It has been.
And I was going to say, please feel free to subscribe. The more subscribers we have, the more people can hear what we talk about. So,
And tell us what you think as well, because we're not saying that we are right. We're just observing the world and saying what we think. So
exactly.
discussion will be, good, clean discussion would be, what's the word I'm looking for? Is encouraged.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And share it as well.
Yes.
Because something you like about what we said, it might benefit someone.
Exactly.
Yep.